Hi, I'm Ashley Foltz, and welcome to Season 3 of Tackle Primetime. We're back for another year, highlighting the top players in America and helping student athletes in every sport understand how to get recruited. I'm here with two of the most successful recruiting coordinators of all time, Randy Taylor and Bob Chmiel. Coach and Coach, the stage is yours.
Coach, it's great to be back again with you this year. And as you know, in the coaching profession, anytime you come back in successive years, you've had a pretty good year.
There's no question, Coach. I couldn't be more excited if I were twins to analyze players this year with you, this class of primetime players for Tackle Primetime.
Well, we're going to start out with one of the least glamorous positions, if you will, and that'll be the offensive lineman. But the fact of the matter is, it all starts up front. And you look at any successful football team in the country, regardless of the level of play, it's all about offensive linemen.
Our #1 tackle for Tackle.com and #2 player overall is Taylor Henderson, a 6'7", 295-pound athlete out of Cretin-Durham Hall High School in St. Paul, Minnesota. Coach, when I first went up there, I got nervous when they got fired up about the ice being thick enough to drive big trucks out in the middle of the lake. That's a tough place. But this guy has very good first step quickness. He's athletic, he's long, tall, moves his feet, he can bend his knees, great hand placement, feet size, all that stuff is perfect. The only thing I didn't see, and some of it is because of the level of players he plays against who are smaller, you don't see a lot of that hip roll, and he's really got to get down lower to drive block. So those are some things that I'd like to see later on or when he has some chance to play against bigger kids to work on that pad level, and I think the sky's the limit for this guy.
Up next, Damian Robinson, 6 feet 7 inches tall, 320 pounds from Olive Branch High School in Olive Branch, Mississippi. Definitely a young guy who just smothers defenders. He does a great job of getting his long arms on a defender, but more importantly, he can move his feet. Randy, as you well know, when you recruit one of these big tackles, you want to make sure that he is athletic. One of the things we don't see from time to time with these taller high school tackles is the fact they can't get pad under pad. And usually the reason being is that they're playing against a defender who's much shorter than they are.
Yeah, I think Taylor Henderson has that same problem, but this kid is raw with a great upside.
Absolutely. Welcome back to Tackle Primetime. We want to show the skills of some of the other top offensive tackles in the country. Chaz Green, 6'5", 286 pounds, Tampa, Florida, Tampa Catholic High School. Yet another great high school tradition. An agile lineman with the athleticism and feet to get to the second level. He'll take on the defender on the line of scrimmage, move his feet, athleticism, get to that linebacker, get to that strong safety, and yes, get downfield and get to those corners and those free safeties also. Ian Silverman, 6'5", 256 pounds, Fleming High School, Orange Park, Florida. A long-armed athlete that does a nice job using his hands on the line of scrimmage. He works to refit his hands if they've been dislodged, so to speak. And you know what? Everybody has that drill. Hands inside, hands outside. If a guy can do that naturally, he's ahead of the game. He's a good combo blocker also, Randy. He'll chip down, come back to the next level, find that linebacker, seal him off. He's sound and he has room to grow. Next, Tabatis Glenn, 6'5", 270 pounds. Terry Park High School, Jacksonville, Florida. This guy can play offensive or defensive line. I love a guy that you can't get off the field. He's a raw athlete, he's tough, he competes, he's a finisher. Again, good punch off the line of scrimmage, and you know what? He's a good pass blocker. And if there's one transition from the high school level to the college level at any position, the difficulty lies from going from high school to the collegiate level in the offensive line. If he can pass block already, wow, that's a real plus.
As is tradition, you gray-haired gentlemen, we want to wrap up tonight's Tackle Primetime with our need-to-know insider recruiting information.
Remember one thing about gray hair, it's a sign of age, not intelligence. Randy, many athletes start high school with dreams of playing at the collegiate level. So starting early and to attack the recruiting process is more important than it's ever been. Getting recruited really starts with evaluating your potential as a college player. What level do you fit at? What level can you play at? Where do you stand academically and athletically? Basically, where do you fit?
Absolutely, Coach. Every student athlete needs an objective and trusted third-party evaluation to determine which college programs they qualify for and who they should be targeting. Athletes need to talk to knowledgeable third parties to help them find that best fit. You can sit down with your coach, a mentor, or any knowledgeable third party, but it's extremely important that you get a realistic evaluation. Coach, can you explain who a third party is?
Basically, what a third party is a reliable source. Someone who evaluates people, basically, for lack of a better way to say it, for a living. Okay? I've never had a mother, a father, an aunt, an uncle come up to me at one of our venues and say, my son can't play. He's not a very good player. Everybody's son is Barry Sanders. Everybody's son is Joe Montana. You know what? That's possible, but the fact is you need an evaluation by a reliable source. Randy, you know there are over 1,800 colleges that offer the opportunity to play collegiate sports. Athletes need an evaluation so they can realistically target colleges that are the best fit for them. Your time as a recruit, as you know, Randy, it's limited. You can't waste it chasing schools that aren't interested or are not realistic for you to get to the next level. Once you understand where you fit, you need to target at least 100 to 200 schools to make sure you maximize your options. And being realistic is so important. About a year ago, I had a father rant and rave about how his son was a future Hall of Famer and a great offensive tackle, and he was being overlooked, and his high school coach wasn't helping him. I wanted to buy a little bit of time for myself. I said, after this venue's over, bring your son over to see me. I'm 5'8" on a good day. This young guy, who the father was worried about him not getting an opportunity at the collegiate level as a 5'8" offensive lineman, the young guy came over, we looked eyeball to eyeball. There's a place for him to play, but it's not going to be at the Division I level at 5'8" in the offensive line.
Coach, and once you realize where your options lie, it's time to get proactive. Our good friend Izell Reese played 7 years in the NFL, but he had to settle for an opportunity to walk on at the University of Alabama Birmingham because he didn't understand how to play the recruiting game. This season on Prime Time, we'll teach you how to play that game.
And that wraps things up for this episode. And remember to go to Takkle.com and sign up for NCSA's Recruit Match database.